Yo, thank you for clicking on the video. I'm Who's Mans. I just like football. I'm here to teach you the X's and O's of the game. I'm not here to teach you the glitches and the exploits and things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you guys are new, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an upload. And let's get into it. All right, so we took a quick break from the air raid to do defense, but we're back in the air raid. We're looking at wide, shallow, cross. That's what you see on the screen right there, and I'm going to break this down for you all. All right, so there's a couple of different ways you can read it. So first off, we're going to look at the way I read it. You're going to look at the nickel defender there. If he drops back, that's when I start to look at craft over the middle, and I pay attention to the middle backer. And then you also have your alert on the outside, and then your post is kind of like your last read. Or you can read it 1, 2, 3, as you see on the screen there. And then last but not least, you can also read it the same way we've been reading the stick, where you look at craft. You look at the defender over him. If he goes inside, you go outside to the running back Jacobs, which you can put on a table route, and then you just progress from there. If Kraft and Jacobs are taken, you look at your dig and then your post, and then you do have your alert on the backside. All right, so we're gonna run through these, run through this play against all the different coverages, and kind of show you guys. Now, obviously, different people are going to be doing different things, but I just want to show you guys what this looks like against the basic coverages. So first off, we're going against Tampa 2, and I just want to show you what this is all going to look like. So hiking the ball here, and like I said, I look at this defender first. He backs up. I'm going to throw this drag, and it really goes off of the middle linebacker, because if he drops down and tries to take the drag away, you do have a nice window over the middle to throw that dig as well. But this is just in general how we're going to read this play. All right, so now we're getting into a single high look here, and first and foremost, when I'm looking at this play, I look at the nickel. Like I said, does he drop back? He doesn't drop back. He's going out to the flat. That lets me know that this is a cover 3. So now I start to look at my will backer. Is he going to stay up, or is he going to go down to take the drag? And I base it off that. But because he is back, I'm throwing it to my drag, and we're going to get our completion. Now, another thing that you can do is, if you're uncomfortable throwing the drag, you can always take your check down in this situation. Once again, both of those linebackers in the middle of the field are taking the over, so you can just go underneath and take your check down and get as many yards as possible. Most likely you'll at the very least get 4 to 5 yards, but that is another option, and that's why it's important to really understand who is going to be where and paying attention to the linebackers and all the players you need to. Another example of taking advantage of a person who comes out in cover 3 solely is, you understand that the seams are the weakness of this defense. One nice thing about this too is that post gets in that seam, especially if you throw it on the break. It's an anticipation throw. Now, this isn't the greatest example just because of where the linebacker is situated, but if you pay attention to him and you can tell that he is dedicated to that dig, you can fit this over top of the linebacker there and get that in the seam. Reason being is the deep third in a cover 3 drop zone is not going to really pursue that deep post the same way, because his whole point is to not get beat deep. In a better example, I would rather throw this if that will linebacker is underneath the dig. I understand that those linebackers are not athletic enough to get up there and defend something that's 20 yards downfield. But in this situation, I understood that this is the CPU. They're not reacting the same way that we do. They don't have eyes in the back of their head, and this is on all Madden, but you can fit that in there. So definitely take advantage of the weaknesses of each coverage that you're presented with, and that's why post-snap reading is so important. When you understand that, you can definitely start taking advantage of your opponent and what they call on defense. In this example, we're going to recover one hole. We're going to look at our drag. He is being double teamed by the strong side linebacker and the hole defender going across the middle. And then we're going to also take a look at our halfback. He is being manned up by another linebacker there, which means I'm going to start looking at the dig. And you see I'm already starting to throw the dig. I'm throwing the grass, and he has outside leverage on my receiver, so this is going to be an easy throw. But you can see that I'm already throwing the ball. Some of you may say, well, it's a little too early. What if that guy behind your drag stops and picks this off? I know it's not going to happen because he's running. I understand physics. Now, it is a video game, and I understand that sometimes there is some weird stuff that happens there. But if you have to rely on, weird stuff and glitches and all that stuff, that's just something I don't want to rely on. I'd rather rely on actual reads here. But this is an NFL throw, guys. You got to anticipate and throw people open. I'm doing that. I understand physics. That linebacker's not going to be able to stop, turn around, and then run the other way before the ball gets to my wide receiver, who is already running there. So, yeah, you see there, boom, get the ball, pick up my yards. All right, so from here, I'm going to start monologuing. But some of you may look at this and go, okay, well, then what stops this play? I mean, honestly, you can start running everything that I've been running and do a great job of stopping this play. It's more so about execution, right? I'm just showing you guys how to read this play. And when you start reading it the right way and you practice a ton and you can throw people open, it just makes football a lot easier, especially when you're on defense as well. You got to pick up on tendencies, right? The goal is not always to get your one play touchdowns all the time. Sometimes you do have to dink and dunk down the field. You have to take what the defense gives you, or sometimes you have to try to take away the things that the offense is great at. But yeah, just execute, right? If the only thing you can do is pick up the 5 to 10 yards here and there and dink and dunk down the field, do that. Make your opponent change up what their plan of attack is. And I think that's what this play shows, right? And that's what the air raid does, is you're not necessarily supposed to be taking those deep balls all the time. You are simply trying to get your opponent to play a defense that tries to stop one thing so that you can attack another, right? You're here to just get your athletes in space so that they can take advantage of, their athleticism. And that's the whole purpose. But if you really pay attention and you follow through with your reads, your progressions, man, you can start getting a lot of yards here. And this is another great play where you can high-low the middle of the field in 3 different levels, right? You have your short, your intermediate, and your deep. And then you also have a nice alert, especially if you have a guy like a DK Metcalf or a Tyreek Hill, or like a George Pickens or something like that, where you can throw the ball deep to those guys on the outside. So guys, definitely keep practicing these plays over and over and over again. I'm telling you, you continue to mix these plays in. You pay attention to what your opponent comes out in. Look at the shells they come out in. Look at how they roll, things like that. And I feel like the game will start opening up. You'll have higher completion percentage. Maybe you're not throwing the ball deep every single time. Maybe they are, giving you a light box, so you have to run the ball more or throw some more RPOs. Take what they give you. But yeah, next video is going to be some gameplay on this, because hey, playing this or using this play in practice is one thing, but sometimes you got to go to the game against another person to see, because people come up with all kinds of stuff, right? There's going to be somebody that knows how to shut this play down. It's just whether you can execute and when you decide to call these plays. So thank you for watching this video. I'm going to keep this going. If you have any prayer requests, throw them in the comment section below. We're going to be praying for you. And I can't wait to keep this going. And I think I'm going to alternate offense and defense week by week. So the next defensive thing I'm going to do is going to be palms, and then I'll get into cover 3 match and then go from there. So yeah, like I said, thank you and peace.